YouTube Nation, Midfit TV, aka Me TV, aka this city is on depressed mode, depression mode, I don't care what you want to call it. Understand, I voted, was it last week, that the Eagles should not play another down of football for the rest of the season, but obviously they decided, they want to try again and failed miserably at it. There's no reason, I told you before, if you let Dallas come in here and beat us, it was going to be a problem. And fans showed yesterday there was a problem, especially in the parking lot. All right, you have to understand, guys, that this is horrible. I understand a lot of people are happy that we got an opening drive score. Yes, we should celebrate the fact that it took us a half a season to get one opening drive score. Yeah. First one this season, all right? Took half a season. I should all of a sudden, we should applaud them, right? Come on, man. Come on, stop this, all right? They came out and they scored, which was okay. And then the defense decided they didn't want to play defense. Non-tackling. Now, I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. Because first, I want to give a special shout-out to Jason Babin, all right? Because once again, you really didn't play. So, again, you're sitting around on the sidelines because you're not effective. I put it like this. This is the second time we have seen this, all right? In, 3 games? Consider yourself gone from Philadelphia after the end of the season. You're not here to play, as far as I'm concerned. And you had a great season last year, but like we all said, it's because of Trent Cole. We're all starting to see it now. When Trent Cole is being bothered, Jason Babin, he's done. It's a wrap for that dude, as far as I'm concerned. So all you little Babinettes, all you little fans of Babin, guess what? You might as well go burn your jerseys. He won't be here next year. All right, the writing is on the wall. But I'll put it like this. We got to talk about defense, the non-tackling issue of defense. When the Dallas Cowboys, which they had an effective run game in the first half, they're running all over the Eagles. Nobody can tackle for some weird reason. It's like the guy had a force field around him for some reason. And when he came back to score on us, it made no sense. But you know what? This is something that has happened all season. Actually, it's happened for the previous 3 seasons. And you know what? I'm going to let Teddy Bruschi talk to you guys real quick about the Eagles tackling.
They don't care that you're there. They don't care that you're unblocked. They know you're not going to make the tackle. And on first down, you get an easy 8-9 yards, and that's what it is. But this is what really sickens me, people, right here. Watch Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie right there. Waiting. Still waiting. Waiting. Waiting for you to hit somebody, okay? Are you ever going to hit somebody? That's the thing. And this has been done all year long. This is week 3. Early in the year, Nnamdi Asomugha, make the tackle. Make the tackle. Don't flag them. It's not flag football. You can't just put your hand out there. You got to run and make the tackle. You running yet? Are you running yet? Are you running yet? No, you're not. You don't want to know what the problem is with the Philadelphia Eagles? That's the problem right there.
There's a lot of guys on this team acting like divas, getting paid a lot of money to do nothing as far as I'm concerned. And here's the thing. When you're personally calling out when there's some type of personal squabble, they have no problem showing their heart. But when it comes to actual football, they don't try. That's the problem we have here in Philadelphia. And as you know, we pride ourselves off defense. All right? Our defense used to be feared. This is garbage. All right? That's what this is. All right? And this all falls under Andy Reid. And the coaching, it does, because like I said before, players who act like this and they get comfortable, all right, it's a reflection of the coaching. It is. When Andy Reid came out and said last time, oh, I challenged the coaches and the players, and none of them stepped up. None of them, all right? So it just goes to show you that you just can't point a finger at one person. You got to point at all of them. They're all in the wrong at this point. But I want to talk about the offense, because the play calling also in the coaching made no sense. Why do you have Michael Vick bootlegging out to the right on a run on a third? It makes no sense, all right? And you know that DeMarcus Ware is on that side. That's his blind side. Why are you having him run right into him? It makes no sense. You got guys, there's a 3rd and 13, you're running the ball. Why are you playing so damn conservative? I don't understand this, all right? Especially at the time when you were down. This makes no sense. None. I don't understand what is going on with this offense, and defense, actually, all right? Because I put it like this. I'm going to give Tony Romo his credit because he extended a lot of plays. Regardless how many sacks we got in a row or whatever and guys are getting hyped, Tony Romo bounced right back and responded. He did. And a lot of people like to blame Vic for some reason. You know what? I'm going to get to this Vic thing just a little bit later because I'm getting real tired of you Eagles fans. Obviously, just a lot of you don't know what the hell you're talking about, okay? But as usual, Vic is trying to get something done here, all right? If the receivers are not open because they're not creating space, they're not coming back to the ball, Vic has to try to make the play on his own because that offensive line is going to help him. It's not going to help him. You saw the way he was coming up straight up the middle at him? They don't know what the hell they're doing. This guy has to run. He has to use his legs. You want to be a pocket quarterback. You don't want him to run. But when you have an offensive line like that, you're damn right he's going to run. Because he's going to get his head knocked off if not. And then that's what happened. He got a concussion because he actually tried to make a play. That's what it was. He's been hit all season. All season. Doesn't matter the injuries. All right? Doesn't matter if Peters is out or what, Kelsey or whoever. Doesn't matter. Herman's. They weren't doing shit anyway. You understand it? But it does not matter. People don't want to see Vic. They want Foles to come in. But you know what? That's not the problem. You're not helping your quarterback when you don't run the ball that much. And he ran a bit in the first half, which is, we see it all the time. If you're going to run shady to the left, you go inside left. All right? If you run to the right, you bounce outside right. And then sometimes they were trying to bounce outside left, which has not worked all season, which makes no sense to me. That's why they were getting booed. It makes no sense. I'm telling you, Andy Reid, Marty Mornhinweg, and the offensive line coach, Howard Mudd, all of those guys need to be held accountable. All of them, and the players. There's no reason why your offensive line should be playing like that. There's no, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. All right? But Foles comes in. Everyone likes to see Foles. Look, I put it like this. I said on the sidelines before they even showed when he came back from commercial, I say, Vic is hurt. When you see a quarterback sitting on the bench and he's got 3 coaches around him, there's a problem. He's hurt. And I'm like, there's no way. He goes into the back. We find out he's not coming back for the rest of the game. Foles comes in. Kid looks like a deer in headlights at one point. He did get poised. He did get comfortable. What did I tell you guys? They're not going to let him just sling it downfield. As much as I would like to see them have some balls and sling it downfield, didn't happen. All right? They treat him with kid gloves like they did with Kevin Kolb. This is why history always repeats itself. Always. They did it with Kevin Kolb at first before he got a little confidence to throw it downfield. That's what they did. They ran the ball a little bit more to make it comfortable. Why didn't you do these things with Vic? And I'm going to explain, okay? Because it's the McNabb effect. Let me explain this. McNabb effect is when you have a dynamic quarterback who can do pretty much run, throw. He's a very good player, all right? The team leans on him. That's right. So that, you know what that means? That means the receivers don't try as hard. The offensive line doesn't try as hard. The running back, I know that McCoy's out there, but he can't do but so much unless his number's called. Don't try as hard. Why? Because they expect Superman, which was McNabb at the time, and now it's Vic, to do everything. So people get complacent. They don't do as much. But then, when that person goes down, when McNabb went down, enter Jeff Garcia. When Vic goes down, enter Nick Foles. The team plays harder. Because they're not, they want to make sure that, they don't lose that backup. This is what happens. If you did your job in the beginning, this wouldn't be a problem. And for weeks now, I've been crying. I should say crying, because they've been killing me. You've been killing me, Eagles. All right? Yes, we're all crying. All right? You have to understand, I've been saying for time and time again, why isn't wide receiver 10 back there to catch punts and kickoffs? Right? And then, apparently, the media got smart enough to actually answer the question last night. To actually ask, I should say, the question last night.
Did you think in the fourth quarter you want to put Deshaun back to take the punts?
I had to take the last one. Not that they were going to kick it to him, so, but no, I didn't.
So let me get this straight, Andy Reid. You haven't thought about putting wide receiver 10 back there to receive punts, even though in previous years we've seen what he can do when desperate times call for desperate measures. Are you going to sit here and tell me you didn't think about that until last night and then try to use the excuse, well, they wouldn't have punted to him anyway? It doesn't matter if they punt to him. The fact is, him being back there sends a message. That's what it comes down to. And you know what? I'm getting real tired of Eagles fans. Oh, we want Foles instead of Vic. I'm going to tell you exactly why Nick Foles should not be the starting quarterback of this team just yet, and how there will be consequences if he is.
It also signals to the team. You got to watch and making a decision like this, what you're saying to the rest of the players on the team. You can't ask them, other than the simple fact that they're employed by the Philadelphia Eagles and this is their job. But what are they playing for? Are they playing for next year? If the games don't matter, are they giving you the same attention to detail? You put a rookie out there, the expectations for success is not there. So how does that affect the rest of the players on this team, the veteran players on this team? Other players will start to throw the towel in as well. If the coach is going to throw the towel in by putting in a rookie quarterback and the outcome of the games doesn't matter, all we're doing is evaluating Nick Foles for next year, well, that signals something to the rest of the players on the team that you don't have to take these games serious. The games don't matter the rest of the year, and You know, this 5-game losing streak can easily grow to 6, 7, 8, 9 games.
Right.
And Andy Reid could be fired during the rest of the season because his players will have stopped responding to his coaching.
Here's the problem. That's presuming that they cared in the first place.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? I mean, I'm suggesting that they've cared, and now if you put Foles in there, well, they're not going to care anymore. Based on what I've seen the last 5 weeks, I'm not sure they cared 5 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay, so how much, in terms of effort and attention and focus, how much are you going to lose by going with the kid? I'm not so sure you're going to lose a lot.
It's interesting Ray Didinger would say that, because I said that last season, how the players didn't care and how they kept bagging on the fans. They didn't care about the fans. They only worried about themselves. And all you fans came out and said, no, you're wrong, Event. They care. It's just they're having time. They need the gel and all this other crap. And we had to hear it. And I said the same thing beginning this season, did I not? That they didn't care. And you all said the same thing then. It's funny how things change, isn't it? But you know what? Let's let Ray Didinger keep talking about Nick Foles.
It's like, now, to me, that the rest of the season is about, number one, finding out about Foles. That's why I would go with him the rest of the way. I know it's going to be tough for the kid. I know the line stinks, but let's find out if he can play or not. And then everywhere else down the line, let's find out who wants to be here. Let him go out and play and see who plays, and see who's stealing money. See who's laying down, see who's giving you effort, and see who's not giving you effort. And use the rest of these games to determine these are the building blocks that we can go forward with, and these are the guys that we can get rid of and move on. I think that's the only thing you can do now. You're not going to get back into the playoff run. You're not going to get back into playing truly meaningful games. So make them work for you in terms of establishing the guys that this is our core group that we can build around. And the rest of these guys, they don't want to be here, fine. Move them on.
Right.
Now, to be honest, I only partially agree with that due to the fact that if you want to let guys go out there and play, I'm fine with that, to see who really wants to be here. Other than that, I don't agree with the rest of it. You want to try and say that Nick Foles, you have to, evaluate him and see what can happen. As I said earlier, this sends a bad message to the locker room that they don't really have to try anymore. That's number one, all right? Number two, understand that if you put Nick Foles in, because I see a lot of idiot Eagles fans online talking, Foles is the future. You know what you're getting with Vic. He's not going to get better. We got to see what this guy has. You put Nick Foles behind that bad line, and that kid may not have a future. Bottom line, he could get hurt. You see how many bad hits he took last night. I mean, can you imagine that? Game after game after game with that bad line. It would not work. The kid could get injured before you decide to give him a legit chance with a good line. So you're not going to be able to get a legit evaluation with him for anytime soon. This year would not be the year for that. That's why I disagree. So for everyone pulling for Nick Foles, understand he is less mobile than Vic. You have a big contract in Vic. You have to let Vic play. You do. No reason why he should be sitting on the sidelines with a big contract. The guy has given his body to pretty much everything. He has sacrificed a lot. He is getting drilled all season. Do you really think that Nick Foles can take those hits game in and game out like Mike Vick did these previous 2 seasons? Do you think he could do it with that line? Do you think he could do that? I don't think he can. I don't think he's ready for that. It's really simple. You put Foles back on the bench. You start, if Vic is able to play, you start Vic. That's what you do. And I'm only saying, like I said, I don't hate Foles. Maybe he will be the quarterback of the future, which I don't have a problem with. But what I'm saying is, right now, you do not put him in there with that line. You just don't. Not to mention, if you sit here and send that message saying that these games don't mean anything, the Eagles technically, mathematically, aren't out of it yet. Even though I feel they're not going to do anything, and as many feel they're not going to do anything, still, they're not technically out of it yet. So you can't give up. It's that simple. You just can't. All right? But that's not all. Because then Brent Selleck comes out and says exactly what everyone is thinking.
I don't know what else to say. That's embarrassing. I know the fans are embarrassed. We're all embarrassed. We can't play like that.
And here's the sad part about Brent Selleck, because he's underused, he's misused, I should say, because the offensive line, once again, is so bad that you got to use your tight end as a blocker. That's the sad part when it comes to the Eagles. This guy could have really been a very good tight end for us if you actually use him well, just like Dallas uses Jason Witten.
Their tight end differently than a lot of teams use their tight end. They run screen passes to him at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage more than almost any team. They almost use him like a fullback, and a lot of times in the passing game. So he doesn't get a lot of yards. If you look at his average gain per reception, it's pretty low. Even coming into this game, it was below 10 yards. So he's not going to get like Tony Gonzalez kinds of yards or Vernon Davis kinds of yards. But he's very, very good at moving the chains with this team.
Yeah, no question.
And I think the last 6 games, Mike, he's been targeted 69 times. He's caught 58 passes. So 58 catches out of 69 targets. That's pretty remarkable. It's almost any time Tony Romo wants to get him the ball, he can get him the ball.
And let me remind all of our viewers, we picked L.J. Smith over Jason Witten.
Wow.
And just like clockwork, you have these fraud-ass Eagles fans coming out speaking all types of garbage. I am so done with this flip-flopping fan base. You've got to be kidding me that something like that will come out. And you know, as far as I'm concerned, we need to start doing exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs did. I mean, seriously. If y'all didn't see, I'll put the link in the info bar. They have a new rule now where if anybody on the team turns the ball over, they're automatically benched. If you don't care to play, then you don't deserve to be here. It's just that simple. I am so sick and tired. Look, the Eagles, they're done. They're done. All right? But mathematically, like I said, they aren't. It is their job to do this. It is their job to execute. If you don't, it's time for you to go. It's that simple. But it seems like everyone wants to make an excuse or make a reason on why it's okay. It's not okay. It's never okay. I understand that somebody, like I said, someone has to lose the game. Someone has to. All right? But you don't lose in that fashion. That was absolutely atrocious. All right? It was disrespectful to the city, the way you lost. And it seems like, I'm sure someone, most of these players are sitting home like, I don't care. I don't care. I got money. I don't care. Anyways, I want to move on to the NFL. Around the NFL, Raiders, I don't know what's going on. The Ravens pretty much punched up on you. Seriously, at this point, if we get rid of Andy Reid, you may want to think of picking him up. Not because he's a great acquisition, but because he can probably somewhat make your team, I don't know. Y'all may kill him out there in LA. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good idea. But for what I'm hearing, if Andy Reid leaves, there's a lot of people saying he's going to go to the Browns, which, Browns fans, I feel bad if so. Your team you need a new coach, but your team does have some talent. They do. So, I don't know what's going on there. Carolina fans, I don't know what's going on. Once again, I guess Cam Newton's on suicide watch, for what y'all telling me. This needs to stop. Bears fans, I feel for you because you lost Jay Cutler. You know what I mean? I understand how that feels, but you still have your defense. I know you pride yourself off defense, Bears fans. We also had our quarterback get a concussion. 49ers fans, your quarterback got a concussion, but it seems like your backup came in and tried to play somewhat well, and then you guys had a tie with the St. Louis Rams, which is, we haven't seen that in, since the last time the Eagles did it. So, I mean, it's really interesting. I don't know, Giants fans, I talked to some of you Giants fans, on Twitter yesterday, and it seems like a lot of you are very upset with your own fan base because the way the game, you want to fire Tom Coughlin, and I mean, you got to think this guy got you 2 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? You want to fire him already? Something doesn't seem right. And for what you Giants fans are saying, it seems like now, you're starting to understand why people don't like your fan base because, as you guys said, some of them are probably spoiled Yankees fans, and that could be it. But you understand, I didn't say that. That's New York talking about New York. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, guys. It's just, for me, it's getting out of hand with the NFL. I've seen a lot of bad calls. I've seen a lot of good calls, too, all right, from the referees. I will say that the refereeing is a lot better now than it has been, when we had the replacement refs. So I will say that. I also want to move on to college football real quick because of the fact that I've talked about this. For those who did not see what happened, apparently Notre Dame, now look, I'm not a Notre Dame fan. I don't watch really college football that much. You get what I'm saying? But the speech that Bill Romanowski gave, was it on Friday, I thought I did something wrong the way he was talking to me. It was ridiculous.
Man, this game is about mind over matter. We don't mind and Notre Dame doesn't matter. They're coming into our house. This game is about the fist going into the fight. You hear me? Our team is like a fist. Every finger clenched so tight. When we deliver that punch, we do damage. So remember, when you take that field and you run down on kickoff, when you run that football, when you block for our running back, for our quarterback, and when you deliver a hit on defense, it's about the fist, it's about the team, and no one comes into our house and messes with us. You hear me? Because our fist is going to do damage on every play. We're going to win a 60-minute battle, a 60-minute fight here in Chestnut Hill. They are going down. The Fighting Irish are going down. Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, Bill Romanowski. I don't know what I did, but apparently I was going to pick Notre Dame. I'm sorry. I believe, okay, y'all was going to win. Okay, I don't get it. You know what? Y'all should understand by now that Bill Romanowski, he is certifiably crazy. There's something wrong with that dude. He is certifiably crazy. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's some fans right now saying, well, now you know how it feels, man. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. I want to move on to the NBA real quick. I got to talk about the Sixers. You know what? I am very disappointed in the Sixers, not because, like I said, I talked about this last week, but the fan base, I don't understand it. How can you sit here and say, oh, we're 4-2, we're 4-2? The only game we played that was even worth something was the Celtics game, and that was a bad game. You went and played New Orleans, and that was absolute travesty the way they played. That first half was ridiculous. It was horrible. All right, and even the announcer said the way these two teams played in the first half, I'm surprised anyone's still watching the game. You're damn right, because it wasn't basketball. It wasn't. It was like preschool basketball. I don't know what the hell you call that, all right? The only game that you played well was the Celtics, and the Celtics actually shot themselves in the foot at the end, all right? So, but I'll still give the Sixers credit for going out there and playing. I don't know why Nick Young is still out there. He's not a great basketball player. I don't know why you still put him. I don't know why you got him. You should have listened to Wizards fans. What did they say? Good riddance, because they knew he wasn't worth anything. And the thing is, he wore both these, shooting sleeves. Why do you have two shooting sleeves on? Why? You only shoot with one arm. All right? That's what you're doing. You're shooting with one arm, Nick Young. You have two shooting sleeves on. You look like a dumbass, all right? Because there's just no tightness in your arm. There's no pull. You know what I mean? There's no strain. That's the reason why you do it, to keep the muscles tight. That's what you use it for. But it seems like nobody cares about that anymore. They want to try to use it for style. And what happened? After I said it, Nick Young, he went and took off the sleeves. He went and took them off. And played the rest of the game without them. So it goes to show you that you don't need the damn thing. Stop trying to be cool and play basketball. That's what it comes down to. You know what? I'm so sick of this already. And, Sixers fans, Spencer Hawes is awesome. He's awesome. Let's get something straight here, all right? Where were you Sixers fans last season when Spencer Hawes played? Because I didn't hear Spencer Hawes was awesome then. How about the season before that? Was he awesome then? Stop with trying to, pipe this dude up. Stop. It don't make no damn sense. He had one good game so far all season. Let it go. Do I think the Sixers are going to win their next game? Yes, I think they're going to win. But don't sit here and act like Spencer Hawes is all of a sudden this all-star caliber dude. Come on, stop that. Stop. That's ridiculous. And Kwame Brown, look, you start Kwame Brown. It's only been, 4, maybe 5 games into the season? All right, 6 games into the season, and you get ready to play again. Kwame Brown plays one game. He starts one game, which we all laughed, all right, and he gets injured that very same game. He didn't even play all the minutes in that game, so technically he hasn't even played a full game yet, and he's already injured. Oh, my calf. I'm not trying to hear about your calf, bro. You get paid way too much money to start all of a sudden getting re-injured. That's garbage, as far as I'm concerned. I want to talk about the Lakers real quick. I have to talk about Lakers. For those who know, that's the big news today. The Lakers signed Mike D'Antoni instead of Phil Jackson, which makes no sense to me because Mike D'Antoni, I understand you got Steve Nash there, even though he's an aging Steve Nash. D'Antoni is going to play this pick-and-roll offense, run-and-shoot offense. That's all it is with no defense. You saw it in Phoenix, and you saw it in New York. And it didn't work out either of those times. Did it? No, it didn't. And yet you're going to bring him to L.A. where an elderly, I won't say elderly, I don't want to say that, but an aging, I'll say. An aging Los Angeles Lakers team is going to run up and down the court without no defense? Stop this. Stop. I'm telling you now exactly how it's going to go. Pick and roll all day from Nash to Howard, or pick and roll all day from Nash to Gasol. And if not, they're going to use a triangle offense. This is so easy to predict because Mike D'Antoni, even though he knows the game of basketball, he also suffers from that Andy Reid syndrome where it's way too easy to understand what he's going to do. It's that simple. You got all these stars, and you're still losing games. And Lakers fans, I put it like this. When Kobe Bryant came out last week and said that you Lakers fans, when you were complaining about the losses, how you need to stop, you need to shut up and that you were stupid, he needs to give you guys, that since Mike Brown has been fired, all right, he needs to give you guys an apology. It's ridiculous that he has not given the fan base, you deserve it, an apology. You had every right to complain, and obviously you were right because Mike Brown is no longer there. And it was funny because just that morning the Lakers were like, oh, we're going to keep Mike Brown, and it's just unfortunate, unfortunate events because he's very knowledgeable of the game. And then a couple hours later they fired his ass. So I just thought it was really funny, but it's really this simple. Kobe Bryant owes you guys an apology. Anyways, I'm done for the day, and I have to go talk to a certain radio station because they just got back to me. So I'll talk to y'all then. You best believe I will be doing an update. Talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. I'm out.